Hey, what's up, and welcome to Motion RC Live. This is your product specialist, Wes, and today we're going to be unboxing and assembling the Freewing 90mm 8S version here on the show for you. So the first thing we need to do while everybody's getting in, I've got this little thing cut up. This is going to be us getting everything out of the box, set out on the table, ready to start our assembly, and we will meet back here at the shop live in just a few minutes. All right, so that gets our F-22 all out of the box, laid out here on the table where we are ready to start putting this together. One thing I've gone on ahead and done is I have added my Futaba R200 6GS 6-channel receiver to the model, and I just followed and plugged out just as my pin code show on my controller. We can always go over that later if it's something you're interested in. But when we get to the part of actually putting all our control surfaces and everything on, I didn't want to have to worry about getting that put in. It's a little bit fiddly and small down here, so I did go on ahead and do that just so everybody knows. So without further ado, let's kick it back to me live in the studio, and we will see you in just a second. Hey everyone, welcome back to Motion RC Live. So as you saw, we got this pre-unboxed and ready to go for us. It's always a little bit unwielding trying to get that box out of the way when we're doing one of these for you. Like I said in the video, I've already gone on ahead and installed my Futaba RX into the airframe. That way we don't have to worry about that either. It can always be a little bit fiddly trying to do that on camera. Other than that, I've left the airplane as it comes out of the box, so we'll be putting this together today as you, our customer, would be. We will be setting it up just box stock right out of the box on all the standard settings. Now this is the 8S version. I know James has already done the 6S version. If you want to see some of those videos, feel free to check back on the channel. Like I said, he's done the 6S version of this exact airframe. We thought it'd be fun for me to do an 8S version so you can actually see how the difference is between them. Speaking of 8S versions, he has also gone on ahead and sent out the 8S fan and speed controller to me for the Eurofighter. I know a lot of you customers have been wanting to see what the difference is between the 6S and the 8S version of the Eurofighter. So that is coming to me right now for me to give that a try. I have started to see, we've started shipping them to our EU customers now, so I've been seeing a lot of videos popping up around Facebook of the Eurofighter here lately. Our good friend Arthur's got his in and he's got his video up. I've seen a couple guys here in the States have got them from direct shipping companies. But hey, there's videos out there now. If you've been wanting to see some videos outside of Motions from some reviewers, they're out there. Oh, I think Lori's got one queued up here. This is Arthur's flight. I saw he did this morning. So give him a quick little shout out here before we get started on this build, but Arthur was flying his Freewing Eurofighter this morning on his channel, so definitely go check him out. I think he's probably down in the description, or if not, he's down in the comment section for sure. Right now. Arthur never misses a show, so hey, Arthur's RC, Good to see you were flying it today, brother. And it was a very successful flight from the look of it. He had a little bit of a snafu with his afterburner, but he got that fixed and it's back up and flying. So anyway, speaking of afterburners, Motion RC is now carrying afterburners. We have the Freewing, let's see, can we get that pulled up on the website real quick for you guys? The Freewing tail flames are now available for order on Motion RC. So when you're ordering your jet now, you can go on ahead and just throw you an afterburner in your order and have that afterburner show up with the airplane now. I do have one of these coming. It didn't unfortunately make it off the truck before the show because I wanted to install it in the F-22 with you guys live. But at this time, we aren't able to do it because it didn't show up in time. So I'll be filming that as soon as it shows up today. I'll get it installed and do a nice install video of them. It should be super easy, super straightforward to get that installed into this airplane though. We have them right now available for 90 millimeters and 80 millimeter EDFs. So make sure you check those out as the show goes on or after the show. And that would be a real cool thing. So yeah. Today we're going to be hanging out. If you have questions from time to time, Lori is monitoring the comment section. I bet James is probably watching also right now. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask as the show progresses, and we will try and cover them as much as possible. This airplane is very simple to put together, as you will find out shortly. I'm going to start with step 1 in the manual, which is to get our rudders installed. And once again, if you want a very polished and clean assembly video to watch when you're putting your airplane together, we have also done that here on Motion RC. This is just a fun hangout for you guys, seeing it live. You can ask your questions, but if you do want the polished video, that is also available for you to use when you put your airplane together. So first step is to get our rudders put on. As you can see, they come pre-graphicked right out of the box, and they are all pre-hinged. Ball links. Lori says we have a question as we go here.
I have a quick slide.
Oh, she's got a slide. There you go. Ha ha! Look at that. So there's the rudders up close and detailed for you. As you can see, they are slotted and hinged. No foam hinges on this one. These are actual hinges on the F-22. Very well done. You also have ball link clevises all around. So take your time as you put your model together. Let me reach in here and pull out my connectors. Get them to where I can grab them. And I'm going to flip this around for just a second and pull my other wire out. Where did it go? Yeah. So, everybody down in the comment section, what have y'all been flying this week? Has anybody got any new toys in that they want to talk about? Show us. I'm trying to find me a pair of little guys to reach in there and grab this little wire with. I am. Of course the wire would fall down. When it's live, as you know, nothing can be easy. So the wire has fallen down inside and I'm just trying to pull it out of there real quick here. If it was easy, everybody would do this live, right? Well, I gotta run over to the other side and grab another tool real quick. And it's here somewhere. I gotta get my little hook. There she is. Holy cow. You know, I set all this up beforehand to make it look as simple as possible, and you can always miss something small. It's right there. Come here. Come here, little guy.
You can do it.
Lori's laughing at me right now as I struggle with this. Come here. A wire.
What would help?
Smaller hands.
I have smaller hands.
It's never an easy thing when you do this live. Wouldn't you know? That would fall down in there. where I can't reach it now. Oh my gosh.
Ready to come help?
You might.
Ready?
Lori's coming over here to help me. She's got smaller hands. There's a little wire right here we need to pull out. I can't believe I can't hook it. Just pull it out of there. There it is. Ha ha! I got it. That was painful. There it is. Okay, so it's the little rudder wire. It's usually just hanging out, but it's falling down in there where my fat fingers couldn't get to it. But now, all we got to do is connect yellow to yellow. And make sure we get those seated well. And then we can push that wire back down in there and slot it in, just like that. Now I'm going to go on and put both sides on right now while we have the airplane up and easy to get to. And reach in and grab the other one. And better news, this one is a lot easier to grab. There it is, right there. And we're going to put that yellow one in. Now, Lori, have we got any questions so far? Trying to keep up with everybody as we go.
Are those Harbor Freight hooks?
Harbor Freight, what?
The hook that you used.
Oh, yeah, they are. I don't think we actually have the hooks on the website. But yeah, those are the little Harbor Freight hooks. They work really well for what we're doing here. And speaking of tools, you know, we have actually been really focusing on getting a lot more hobby grade tools in. So, I mean, we have our Benchcraft screwdriver sets now. I've got my magnetizer out here. I use this thing all the time. So this is so you can take a screwdriver, you put it through here a few times and it makes it magnetic. It's an awesome thing to have. And then you can put it through the other side to make it non-magnetic. Comes in very handy. All right, let's flip this guy over now and put our screws in from the top. Hopefully. Well, I said that was going to be the easy way to do it. I think it's going to be easier to do this from the bottom. So let's just set that there.
You're having some struggles.
I am having some struggles today. You know, it's allowed, guys. Every once in a while, you can do it. All right, so I'm going to put them in from the bottom, as I recommend you do now. So I also have my bag labeled here, but it is called out in the manual exactly where everything goes. I'm going to grab my 4 countersunk screws that are used for the rudder. And this is laid out really well if you watch, like I said, that polished build video of this airplane. We actually show you exactly which screws go where. But for now, is everybody getting a good laugh at this?
I think James is in here commenting. He says, calm those nerves, dude.
I'm not nervous. It's just, you know how it is when everything's not working for you. But it's all good. Like I tell everybody, I got the best job in the planet working for Motion here. Every day I get to go play with airplanes for a job, so can't beat it.
Question, where's your normal stand?
Oh, it's right here underneath me. I can grab it.
So
I thought the
explain why you're using the foam.
I thought the foam pad would be easier. Turns out it wasn't, but I do have this stand right here, which is available here at Motion RC also. This is the Ernst Mega Stand. There we go. We'll use that one. And if you're interested in getting one for yourself, like I said, they are available.
Drop the link.
There you go. Lori's going to get the link dropped in. I'm going to get one of each of these held in, and then I can flip it over and make it a lot easier on myself. There we go. Got that one tightened up. Phew. Like I said, we've seen a lot of customers start to getting their new models across the states right now. There we go, got it. All right. Now I can flip it over and this will be a lot easier. And there you go. Now we also have some other new products here coming into the workshop. I have the Dago Red Nexa P51, which I have seen a few customers over on Facebook already getting them and flying them, and it looks like it's going to be a very stable model. But I'm super looking forward to that. You guys know I love a good balsa airplane. Who doesn't? There we go. Woo. And I'm super pumped to get to try and fly that one. Now, I know, do we still have some of those community posts getting ready while I'm getting these screwed down?
I can, yeah.
Yeah. What you got queued up?
I've got the After.
Whoop. Oh, what was this gentleman's name?
His name is Joshua Billiter.
So Joshua, I'm going to butcher that last name, Billiter.
Billiter.
He is the first customer I have seen that actually has one of the new Freewing afterburners installed in a model. If you want to check that out, Lori is queuing that up for you right now. But he has tried one in his Freewing Mirage 2000. We can pop that on the screen for just a second. And I will flip this over while you're doing that and get ready to put our elevators on. So there it is. That is what the new Freewing afterburner is going to look like. Really looking forward to start trying some of those out.
And I think I have a full video of him with a flight with that.
Nice. So yeah, some of these posts lately, I've been really loving all the customization that's been going on in the community with some of these new products. Lori's getting that queued up. Ta-da. Let me know when it's back on me so I can continue to show what I am doing. Oh, it is still kind of on me. Oh.
I'm having some issues.
We're having technical issues here.
Technical difficulty.
And there we go, I'm back. Alright, so to keep continuing on the F-22, now that we have our rudders installed, we're going to start working on our elevator halves. So it comes with these little ball link pieces. I think, Lori, you have this one up close to the elevator halves?
Yes.
Here, let's play that for just a second. So on the elevator halves, there are these little ball link pieces that you have to screw on. They go on the other side of it from what you're seeing right now, and they are held in with 2 screws. Those screws are provided in their own individual baggie to help you keep them straight. I'm going to go and screw those guys in right now. And get this set up. So we'll get those 2 screwed in, just like so. Let's get a little roll call going. Who's our guys that are here, that are always here every week? We got any of our channel members popping up, saying
We've
hi?
got Victor RC Jets.
Victor Shamulus. I keep forgetting you changed the name of your channel, but yes, old Victor. I got to see Victor putting out a bunch of videos lately on his B2. If you haven't checked him out, he has been doing a ton of B2 content lately.
We have Arthur RC.
Arthur RC. Gave him the little shout out earlier, but I'll do it again. Just got his video up today of his Freewing Eurofighter, and his is over in the EU. Should definitely check that one out though, guys. Great little video on that.
There's John
John. Welcome, John.
Mike Bird.
Mike Bird. Oh, you know, speaking of other people that I've got to meet lately too, you know, I've been to several events this month that were awesome to get to actually shake hands and meet a lot of you that I see every week here at Motion RC on our YouTube channel. We actually did 3 events this month. So we had Florida E-Jet Fest International to start off the month with. And then we went to, what was the name of the next one? It was called Airfest DeLand. There we go. And it was a one-day event, but it was an awesome event. I was super pumped. I can't wait to go again next year to that one because Airfest DeLand was actually a beautiful event. All right, so I'm on the next step here. So what I'm going to do is take our little silver spars. There's 2 of these that are used for your elevator halves. They slide in like this. You want the part with the ridge facing outward. And then we take one of our little silver washers. It goes in between the elevator and the fuselage. And then you slide your elevator half on, like so. And then, where did I set them? There are, set them down right here. There they are. There are these little collets with a small screw. What you need to do is get your small screw started. I don't know if you want to maybe stand up and show them this part, Lori. Let's see if we can get a zoom in on this real quick.
Sure.
I'm going to get Lori behind the camera here. So if you can see this collet, come on in right here. Hey, there we are. So there's this little silver collet, and it has a screw right here on the top. What we're going to do is pull our elevator half out just enough to where that metal rod is poked in, and then we're going to set this down in here and slide our rod through that and onto it. Now we can take and find our flat spot there, grab our screwdriver, and tighten this up on there. Alright, now we need to take the number 2 PT 3x10 screws, which are our longer ones. Give me just a second to pull these out. Alright, can you come back in on me? These are the very aggressive looking screws that have a flat head on them. These aren't pointy, excuse me. Right there. And what we're going to do is we're going to lock our elevator halves in using these screws. Maybe. Aha, there we go. Need my Benchcraft screwdriver, it fits the screws better. There we go.
Let's zoom in.
I'm going to screw those down until it tightens up, just like so. And then we're going to take it and put it in the second one. And you have 2 of these screws back here that are going to actually hold that on. And what this is doing is it binds out on that metal rod and holds it in place. Like so. Now you can see I have my full range of travel up and down. And then we're going to take on this side, put it in, and we're going to repeat the same steps over here. So we're going to slide that on. And like I said, it's the 2 knurled spots go to the inside for those 2 screws to go down and push on. And then this has ball bearings that this can rotate on this side. And then we'll take our little collet once again. And we will slide our elevator halves on. Any other questions from anybody yet? I know this model's been around for quite a while. A lot of you guys actually already have this. I love watching the videos. There have been a ton on the Freewing F-22. And sadly, this is one of the few models I don't have any experience flying yet from Freewing, which is crazy, but I've had one flight on this airplane before. What you got, Lori?
Victor just said he ordered a afterburner.
Sweet!
He wants to test it out for himself.
There we go. Yeah, those new afterburners from Freewing really look cool. Like I said, I can't wait. Mine are coming today. And I will probably be throwing it right in this airplane before we go out and fly it next week. It's my hopes, at least, to go fly this next week. Oops. You know what I forgot to do real quick, though? Put the spacer in. So let me loosen that back off. Don't be like me and forget your spacer. There's the little silver spacer that has to go on here. That keeps it separated from the fuselage, so it doesn't bind up against it. There we go. And there we go on that. Now, I've got the elevators both installed now, but I'm going to go on and leave my control surface rods off until we have the wings and everything on and we can fire up the jet. At that point, we'll know that all our control surfaces are centered in order to actually install all our control rods. Go for it, Lori.
Red locker on those screws?
No, there's really no reason to use thread locker, and actually you wouldn't want to use it. You're putting a metal screw into a plastic receiving point, and thread locker actually eats the plastic, so you do not want to use any type of thread locker on this installation part. Like I said, it's a no-no to use any type of thread lock on plastic because it eats it. So now we're going to get the wings installed. Super easy on this part. Wings. And once again, we're gonna wait to actually fire everything up and put on our control surface rods all at the same time. So now we can put our carbon spar in, and then we need to reach in and pull our little multi-function connectors out. And she's just a little stuck. There we go.
While you're doing that, I'll do a little B-roll wings.
Cool. Throw that B-roll up. Beautiful. And all I'm going to do at this point is plug in my multi-function connectors and slide my wing halves on. Man, computer's about to take off over there. There we go.
B-roll wings while you're struggling over there.
Oh, no struggles here.
Always struggles.
Just trying to get my wings lined up right now. All my wires out of the way. Make sure you take care when you're putting your wings on that you do not pinch any of your wires. This is very crucial, as if you pinch your wires, you could cut one of them in flight and lose a control surface, and you don't want that. So there you go. Slide that wing on. All our wires are out of the way. Oops. Oink.
How can I get one of these fully assembled and ready to fly?
It's really not that bad. Like I said, doing this on the camera is always exciting. There we go.
John says, I've got my turbine installed. How far is Westcott?
Hey, I'm getting close. It goes real fast after this part. That little part on the tail takes the longest. There we go. So now we can flip the model over and put our wing screws in. F-22's got a very odd shape to it. Try and get it in the stand here. There we go. All right, now we have 4 wing screws. Very simple to put these in. I'm going to drop all those in real quick. See if I can just reach over and hit these. Aha! Love it. There we go. So now our wings and our tail are both installed. We are almost to radio setup, and this thing will be ready to go. So we can go on and grab our nose cone. It is a plastic cladded nose cone, so no worry about tearing this up if you're setting it on it or bonk it into anything. And it just magnetics right there on the front. Whoop. Just like so. And now it is time to fire the model up and set everything up. Now I still have these little bits to glue on in the back. There's 3 pieces that glue on, but we'll do those here in a little bit. Let's first get the radio set up. So, like I said, turn our radio on. I already went on ahead and did this off camera earlier, just plugging it in, making sure everything was set up. Now, being this is the 8S version, you do not want to fly it on a 6S battery, but I can use it for just my initial setup. So I'm going to put this one 6S battery in it just to make it a little bit easier right now. But like I said, you cannot fly this airplane. If you get the high performance 8S version, you need to run it on 8S at all times. There's no going back and forth between the two. I've seen that happen actually to several people. So now that we have it plugged in for the first time, before we go any further, I always like to check the landing gear. Make sure there's no issue with the landing gear. Here we go. So let's go on and cycle those. Got my doors open, and the landing gear comes out. Got my nose steering working. I can hear my rudder servos working. This is a good time to just check and make sure everything's working before we go on and put all the rest of the control rods on. So my ailerons and my elevator and my flaps all are working. Awesome. So at this point, what we need to do is start to put all our control control rods on. There we go. Now, in all of our books, let me get a quick zoom in on this. All of our books, we show exactly what holes to use. Make sure you use this too. This is accurate for setup on all these models. So as you can see, we have the control length of the rod, what hole to use on the model, and then you're going to go out and plug into your ball links that are already put into the airplane. But it tells you right there in the manual which holes to use and everything to use them on. So, and then as far as on this airplane, this is a full flying stab. So you have to set your neutral per the manual. Now, I may kind of mess that up right now just to get it faster for you, but as it shows right here, important flight notes with your ailerons, or excuse me, your elevator, it needs to be set per the manual, 5 millimeters down. Anyway, it shows it all in here, but that is actually extremely important when you're putting this together. So let's get our control rods laid out now. get back to the right page. Let's go to the elevators, which are our 85 millimeter. And I have my millimeter stick. Not there where it's supposed to be. Bum, bum, bum. Because it's right here. Aha! I got my millimeter stick.
Millimeter stick.
So I'm going to get all my control rods out. We will start snapping them on. But like I said, I always like to wait till this part where I have the jet turned over, power on. That way I know everything's in its control center. Rudders are the same length. So it should be these long ones. And the little shorty guys are for the flaps. There we go. Alright, now we're going to go and snap our elevator push rods in. And this is where you need to take the time to set everything to neutral and get everything straight. Now, what I'm going to do for now, just to show this and kind of speed this along, because live, is I'm going to put them in for now, just to show you everything working. Snap them on. And now we should have elevator. And we do. Woo! Like I said, if you're curious of the holes that I'm using and the neutral position, it is all laid out right there in the manual. It has pictures along with millimeter call-outs to get your center correct. And they need to both be exactly the same, but as you can see, there we go, we have our elevator now working. As far as rates go, that's going to come as we program the radio itself, which we will do momentarily. Alright, so now we need to get our rudder and our elevator. Let's do our ailerons first. So they're the short ones. There we go. And they need to go in. Elevator goes in the middle hole. I mean, aileron. And then something I ran into, so like this one's too tight right now. What I'll take is an X-Acto knife, like this one right here. We do have these available also. And I'll take and, can you show this right here, zoom in? If you ever get one of these that's real tight, so I'm supposed to be putting this in the second hole here. And maybe this one will clip right in, but if it doesn't, I'll show you. That one just clipped right in, but if they're ever too tight, there could be just a little burr. And if you'll take that knife and just run it around that hole just ever so slightly like that, normally they'll just key right in like they're supposed to. Now this is where, as you can see, I'm not straight right here. So I need to come out 1/2 a turn. And that should get us right perfectly neutral. Same thing with our flap now. We're going to come over here and we want to make our flap the same across here so that it stays neutral. Let me grab the control rod and we'll snap her in there. So now, it's way too far down. And do I have it in the right hole? I need to look and make sure. Flap goes in. I do not. It goes in the second hole. That will shorten it up quite a bit. So now we're going to take that, clip her in, like so. So it's not off by much. We need to go in though. So I'm going to go in several turns. Now we're going to check it again. Real close. Now I need to go out a little bit. I went in just a hair too much. And remember, you want to try and do as much of your control surface deflections fixed right here, mechanically, not in and the radio. If you start off with everything nice and straight, the airplane will fly better. I know a lot of guys just clip these on and then do it with sub trim. The best thing you can do is while it's here, turned on that first time, go around and clip everything in correctly. So here we go. Now my ailerons are working and my flaps are working. So now we just need to clip these other two in over here. Pop our little white clips on. Like so. I've never had one of these white retainer clips give up on me before either. So I really do trust these on my models. It's funny, some of our next airplanes, even before I came to work here at Motion RC, I started using Freewing servos in a lot of my balsa planes. They've never failed me on my airplane, so I wouldn't think they would fail me on a balsa plane either. So that's what I've been using lately. And that's actually what I'm going to be using on the Dago Red Nexa model, is Freewing servos. Anything else going down in the chat, Miss Lori? Exciting, fun news.
Someone just bought a Nexa Zero.
Ooh. You know, I haven't actually had a chance to see the new Nexa Zero in person yet, but I personally love Zeros. As you know, we've been flying the Black Horse Zero quite a bit here on the channel lately. And I love that airplane, so I can only imagine that one is also going to be really good. See, I need to go in a few screws, and I have almost got all these on. It is amazing to me, you know, how easy these models are getting to put together now. I love it. Going from the balsa days to here sure does make life easy.
Well, so everybody's getting excited about the Eurofighter, I can see.
Oh yeah. I know we're getting close. It's almost time for everybody to start getting their Eurofighters. Like I said, the EU guys have already started getting them. Alright, now we can flip it over and set it down here on the table. Oops. Ta-da! We're getting real close. Alright, now we can put our rudders, and we should be getting awful close to being done. Oop, I forgot to look what hole our rudders are going to go into though. Rudders. These are going to go into the outermost hole. Interesting. What?
I think this was directed to you, but James says you wish you could build it and cover it. I think that was referring to your Black Horses.
Oh yeah. Oh. Rudder, we're going from the outside.
On this plane.
Okay.
Is it possible to be able to do tricks that the real F-22 can do, given the pilots it has experience?
Yes. You know, there is a guy on YouTube, they're called Two Brothers RC. If you want to see some models do some crazy stuff, those guys can program them and fly them really exciting. John and his brother are some of the best pilots right now that I know of, flying EDFs on YouTube. So if you want to check out an F-22 do some crazy stuff, he's got some videos of him doing some pretty wild stuff with his. And high alpha wise, he does inverted high alpha with this airplane. Quite a bit of different things. But yes, pretty much if the real one can do it, the only thing you don't have that the real one does is thrust vectoring. But there are some 3D printable thrust vectoring nozzles for this airplane. I believe they're on Thingiverse last time I checked. I haven't looked for them in a while, but I know I've seen them done. Speaking of other cool things to make your jet scaler, I've seen several guys put the formation lights into the Freewing F-22 also.
Man, I forgot to get your kill mark.
I know, Lori was going to, we've got a graphic machine here at the house, and she's going to make me a balloon for the front of this one. As you all know, the F-22 officially has a air-to-air kill now with the Chinese spy balloon. So I'm totally going to make me a Chinese spy balloon kill mark for mine. All right, I think I officially have everything plugged in now, so let's just do a quick control check. Left, right, up, down, and flex. And I can show you guys that also. We have a couple channels going the wrong direction, which is going to be as easy as just reversing them in our radio now. So there we go, let's show this. So my elevator is backwards, so let's go on and fix that real quick right here. Linkage menu, servo reverse. Elevator is backwards. So we'll reverse that. So now our elevators are going the correct direction. Aileron, left, right. Those are the correct way. And our flaps. There you go. Now I could go in, and I will here in a moment, into my radio and put a slowdown. I like a 2-second deployment on my flaps on all of my models. So, but you can do that right here in the radio, no issue. There it is. That was super easy, wasn't it, to put together. Now all we need to do is start programming our rates in. But I will be doing it per the manual on my rate callouts. Look at that. Got her done. Nice. Left, right, up, down. Is there anything you guys want to see on this? Now, on the F-22, even in the 8S version, it's always a good idea to do a throttle calibration. And I can actually do it with the 6S battery that's in it right now. Like I said, you do not want to fly it with a 6S battery, but if it makes it easier for you to set it up on the table with a small 6S battery, that's what I did. I have a 4000 in here. It's just easier for me than juggling the 2 batteries to make 8S. So in order to do a throttle calibration, grab your radio, make sure I didn't flip any of the switches when I picked it up, go full throttle, plug your model in. Make sure if you have a prop-driven airplane, you have the propeller off for this. Now with an EDF, it's all internal. I can hold the airplane if it were to run across the table and it won't go anywhere. I'm going to plug in, listen for the beeps. Now pull it down to 0 throttle. Just like that, I have now calibrated my ESC. For those of y'all that didn't see it again or haven't seen this before, start with the model unplugged, go to full throttle, plug the model in, listen for the series of 2 beeps. Once you hear them, pull your throttle stick down to 0. That will calibrate your ESC. This is something you want to do every time you bind to a model or every time you get a new model and set it up in a new radio. After you've done it once on your radio setup, it stays calibrated until you bind to it again. But anytime you bind to a model, you need to do a throttle calibration on any of your Freewing jets, at least. They all calibrate the same way. It's super easy to do. Trying to think of anything else to show you on this one right now. Like I said, I need to go in and put my rates in, but my rate callouts are right here in the manual, which I definitely recommend you use right off the bat. That's a great place to start. Now I know there are lots of customers that'll tell you they do like different rates, but what I tell everybody, start with your manual CG and manual rates, and then from there, if you want a more nose heavy or tail heavy airplane, or you want a more acrobatic airplane, it's always easy to add that stuff in later, but the callouts that are in the manual, you will be successful flying it on your maiden flight at least. All right, I think that's it, Lori. We are all put together. Ta-da! I do love on the F-22 the smoked canopy, and then it's actually plastic cladded on the inside too to keep it from bubbling. Oh, we got another question?
I want to look at the lights.
Look at the lights! Does this one have lights on it?
It's got a landing light on the front.
Sure. I'll plug it back in. I think this airplane actually doesn't have that many lights on it though. It's just a landing light on the F-22.
We have a couple more questions too.
Alright.
8S system, is there an adapter for us? Is it series? What do you use?
Sure. I actually have the adapter sitting over here too. So the only light that I know of on the F-22 right out of the box is the nose light. There you go. There is that light. But as far as wingtip, strobes, or anything, this model does not have lights anywhere else on it. Now, a lot of customers will go in and add the slime lights. There's a couple different companies that make those now aftermarket that you can put in there. But yeah, this one does not have nav or strobe lights on it. All you have is the landing light. As far as that system goes, it is an adapter. Hang on just a second. I think I've got it sitting right here. May not. It may still be in the airplane. Oh, I don't have it with me right now. So, I don't have it right now. The adapter for it is actually out in the P47 and the Zero. They use the same adapter to make their 10S systems. But you take, we could probably pull it up on the website though, couldn't you? It's on the P47 product page if you want to look it up. Or on this product page either. But you take two 4S 5000s, or you could do a 6S and a 2S battery, and you put those together in there to make your 8S system. So those are the two most common ways to do it, is to take either two 4 cells or a 6S and a 2S, but you want the same milliamp and the same C rating on the battery packs you're using. Yep, there it is. And here is the adapter you'll need. These are linked in the product description of the 8S F-22. When you go to order one of these, they're down in the description of the video, or not the video, of the product page for you to get these adapters also. So we try and make that as easy as we can. I know on the 8S system we also recommend different battery setups right there on the product page. But yeah, what I'm going to be doing on this one, I have two 4S 5000s I'm going to start off with. And then I want to try a 2S and a 6S battery, because I have tons of 6S batteries. I only got to pick up a couple more 2S batteries to make that work. And once again, you can always fly this on a 6S system. We sell it both ways. But remember, if you buy the 8S version, you have to fly it on 8S. I have actually seen this many times out at events. Guys try and fly an 8S bird on a 6S battery by itself. It will not work. The plane will not fly. It may fly for a few seconds, but you do not have the power to get it off the ground and sustain flight on 6S. So if you're going to order an 8S plane, make sure you fly it on 8S. If you order a 6S airplane, stick to only 6S in that system also. It'll just keep you from having any issues going forward. That is very important on these.
We do have another question.
All right.
Is this a good beginner jet?
Ooh, I would not call this a beginner jet. It's not a super hard airplane flight. Like I said, I've flown one of these one time. I plan on getting a whole bunch more flights on it now that I actually have one. As far as high alpha goes, this is an awesome airframe with the lifting body surface on it. I still think scale beginner, I hate saying beginner. I always still say you start with a trainer airplane, high wing, something to learn with, have a buddy box. But as far as a first entry into the jet world, if you are willing to go 90 millimeters and spend the money, get on a buddy box with somebody and learn a little bit, yes, you could do it with this airplane. It is that stable. But I still always lean guys more towards either the L39 or the T33 for their first EDF jet. Is my personal recommendation. All right?
Plan on a gyro.
Gyro. So right now I have no gyro in the airplane. I always like to fly our models without a gyro first. A lot of guys in the comment section always say, oh, we'll fly without a gyro. So I usually start my flights off without a gyro in the airplane and then end up with one. So after I get a couple flights on this, I'm going to be putting one of our Hobby Eagle A3 lights in here. It's the blue one, if you want to look it up, Lori. But I will end up putting a Hobby Eagle in here. They just seem to make everything fly nicer in the wind. And I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to fly in Top Gun this year for the EDF class. I didn't know I was going to have this. I may enter the F-22 because I've always loved this airplane. I think it's a very cool airplane. And I need something to fly in the EDF class. Can you go stop him? Anyway, that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do though this year, is this airplane in Top Gun. Papa just decided to start blowing leaves outside, so hopefully you don't hear that too much. Yeah, anyway guys, this is the F-22. So I guess we'll go into some of the events that I am planning on attending this year. So Top Gun 2023 This is the 35th anniversary of Top Gun. I will be entering the EDF class and the Sportsman class. With the Sportsman class, I will either be using the P-47, the Zero, or the new Corsair. I'm hoping to fly that Corsair from Black Horse here in the next week or so. Once I can kind of get used to it, get the hang of that, I'll decide if I'm going to fly it or one of the other 2 airplanes in Top Gun. And then, like I said, I got to pick a jet for the jet class. And then I have also gone on ahead and registered for Jet Jam in Indiana. I have never been to that event. I've heard so many people have always wanted me to come up there. So I will be at EDF Jet Jam this year. So any of you guys up north that want to meet me, I will be at that event. I know they cap it at 100 pilots, and it was getting close already to registration being full. So if you want to come to that event, highly recommend you go on and get registered for it. I think that covers all the events that I know in the near future, but I'm sure we will be adding more to it as I go. Always follow us on Motion RC's Facebook community. I usually post up anytime we're going to go to an event on there, and you can keep coming and hanging out with us. So like I said, we did 3 this month. This is our first weekend off in a little while, and I know we already are going to one again next week, but it is not an airplane event. So anyway, without further ado, I think we've got everything covered today on the F-22. If y'all have any other questions, remember you can always hit me up, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you want. I answer all the comments on our Facebook, Instagram, everywhere you are. You can look for me anywhere. You can always message me, Wesley Miller, on Facebook too. Always willing to dive into this stuff more in depth with you. That's what I'm here for, guys. So if you have any direct questions you want to ask me, just reach out and I will be happy to work with you guys on any questions you have on these models. So without further ado, whether it's land, sea, or air, Motion RC has everything you need. We're going to let you guys go. See y'all later. Bye.